Hello, people. Once again, this is Jacob in Denmark, coming to you with another video with me showing records that I bought this year that I haven't shown you yet. We'll do this today and hopefully shoot one tomorrow with the last bunch of albums. Just trying to basically get to show you everything I got this year. So. Enjoying a beer with the video today. This is from a Belgian brewery called La Baie de Rock, ROC, not ROCK though. You can probably see it there if my phone won't focus. There it is. And this is a Saison beer called 1979. Well, it's I think it's called Rock's Saison. Saison is a beer type also known as farmhouse ale. It was basically a beer type. Normally when you hear about beer from Belgium, you have a blonde, you have a double, and you have a triple, maybe even a quadruple. And then of course the wheat beers and the lambics and so on. But you also have this beer type here called Saison or farmhouse ale. Originally they started brewing this to basically quench the thirst of the people working at the breweries, at the old farmers farmyards. Basically, they all, well, not all of them, but some of them had their own brewery, and they couldn't serve blonde or a double or a triple with say 10% alcohol to them. They would be shit-faced drunk all day. So they came up with this beer type here, which it is a top fermented ale also, but it has less alcohol than the typical Belgian beers. It is basically looks like a lager. Of course, with it being a Belgian beer, it has this big foamy head here, and the notes on this is very flowery, a bit acidic. Yeah, it definitely smells like a Belgian beer. Smells like a blonde would do, but maybe a bit more spicy. So, anyways, this is another great beer. And today I have a lot of records to show you. I've kind of piled up a few of the albums in the video that I will hopefully be shooting tomorrow, which is music from around the world. So I'll be going to Brazil and India and Africa and so on. And then the rest of the records is basically this big pile here. So we've got a lot to get through. And just gonna start off with some old originals or some reissues even, but not like new reissues. First one, Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. I don't know much about Steve Miller. I know the biggest hits that he's had. I basically bought this just to get Fly Like an Eagle on vinyl. And in case, I mean, you probably know that song. And in case you don't know this album, there's Fly Like an Eagle is song 2 on this album, side 1. But there is something called Space Intro. You probably won't be able to see that. It's in really small lettering. But there is a Space Intro, which is just so awesome. Futuristic, spacey, trippy, and then the song Fly Like an Eagle is just so cool. The rest of the album, I have to admit, I didn't really care much for, but Fly Like an Eagle is a kick-ass song, and I'm really happy that I got to buy this. I found a repressing of the Colosseum album Valentine Suite, which is a really cool psych rocky, prog rocky album, originally from 19... It says recorded 69. I didn't look this up before I shot this video. It also says 72, so maybe it was released in 72? No. Maybe it was released in 79. Oh, sorry, 69, and this is a 72 reissue. I think it was. That's the inside of the gatefold. Very cool, interesting album. Released on the Bronze label here, as you can see. Very much enjoyed this. It's easy to understand when you hear it why this is such a timeless classic when it comes to progressive rock music. Why can't I get this inside here? Because there's another inner sleeve inside. Why is there another inner sleeve inside? There we go. Yeah. Really great album, and happy to buy that. I got that for like $5 or something, $6 maybe. It was a really good price. Next one won't make much sense to most of you. This is by Brazilian singer Carla Alexandre Poesia, but she actually lived in Denmark when this record was released. It was released on a Danish record label. So it's from 2002, and it is basically radio pop with like a Latin Brazilian feel to it. I have this on, or I still have this on CD, and I got it relatively cheap, like $8 or something, $9, and picked it up because there are some good songs on there. And then I found the greatest hits from Carole King at a flea market hall for like $1.30 or something. And once again, I'm not a big Carole King fan, but you know, I'm willing to give her greatest hits a chance. This was released in '78, and obviously she has released stuff after that, so it's not the full greatest hits, but I'm happy to get that. So now we go into newer albums. The next two are also with a Danish artist, a guy called Michael Simpson, and they just reissued 3 of his old albums. I got 2 of them because the third one I have an original. Michael Simpson, this is the first one called De 10 Skud, which basically means the 10 shots. It's a pun on the 10 Commandments, said in Danish. He is good friends with Anders Trendemoller, who you may know, who is a Danish artist that has been very successful around the world. And Michael here played bass in his band for a long time. And Trendemoller has produced a couple of songs on this album. It's really dark, dubby, trippy pop songs, and he has Michael sings with like a high-pitched voice throughout most of the record, and all of his records basically. And he's a really interesting artist. In the past 3 or 4 years, he's mostly been doing work as a radio host in Denmark. This is the other one I picked up. This is called Stille og Uroligt, so it's quiet and uneasy, unsteady. So that's Michael on the cover there. And both of these albums in original copies are priced at around $120–$130. So I'm really happy that these got reissued. If I see a cheap original one day, I might buy them, but other than that, I'm really happy with no reissues. Then I picked up a reissue of the debut album from the British drum and bass electronica duo called Lamb. This is a music on vinyl release. I got it on a sale at my favorite store, Beat. So this is Lamb, we're a duo, or are a duo, that, like I said, did, or still do, well, they made, I think, like 4 or 5 albums, then quit, and then recently they made it back, and they actually made a new album this year, I believe. And they also toured and actually played Denmark. I didn't go to see them, unfortunately. But this is their debut. This is a really cool album. Drum and bass influences, jungle influences, like trippy, trip hop influence. really cool album. Louise Rhodes, the singer, has an incredible voice. You may know the song called Górecki. You can see that, named after the Polish composer Górecki. Brilliant album and a really great sounding reissue. Music on Vinyl did that. And then there are 4 reissues from the same band. I've been talking about this band earlier this year. The British band Stereolab have been doing reissues throughout the entire year of their discography. All of these in originals are like $60, $70, $80 records, and I'm happy to get these expanded versions. So this is the when was this released? 94 maybe album called I think I should show this one first because that came out first. I think it did. Yeah, this came out first of these 4. This is from 94, I believe. This is Mars Audiac Quintet. No, that's not right. This one came out first. Emperor Tomato Ketchup. I think that's the right order. I don't recall now. But Stereolab, Emperor Tomato Ketchup. So Stereolab, a British band from the 90s that also did a bunch of albums, then stopped, and then have reformed and released. Well, they haven't released a new album, but they've been touring this year, and I got to see them live this summer, which was really great. Then there's Mars Audiac Quintet, 96, I believe. Another amazing album. I'll show you with the last one how these are all packed. So for all 4 of them, as the previous 2 or 3 records that I also got of theirs, these are all the limited clear vinyl albums. These are all 3-disc albums. Man, I'm messing this up right now. I'll show you with the last one. This is the 3rd one. This is Dots and Loops. I think my favorite album of theirs, from 97, 98, I want to say. This is more. Originally, they were more like punk, like they had influences from punk rock, from alternative rock, and then also influences from like krautrock, the German rock scene in the mid to late 70s. Bands like Can and Neu, Cluster, and so on. On this one they got a bit more electronic, which I very much enjoy. This is, like I said, my favorite of theirs. And the 4th and final one I got is this one called Cobra and Faces Group, Play Voltage in the Milky Night. I'm just gonna pop this out of the plastic sleeve here. So this one basically says so on all 4 of them. So this is the expanded edition with bonus disc of demos and alternate versions, fold-out poster, and DO card, download card. Limited edition clear vinyl, and then there's a number on all 4 of them. This is number 745. I believe that there are maybe 5 or 10,000 made of these. So all of these open up like this. It is a gatefold, but it's actually a sleeve in here where all 3 records are. I'm just gonna try and not let the other albums on my lap or in my lap fall down. So the cover opens up like this, and then inside you have the 3 records. So the album itself is a double album. Again, this is the same for all 4 of them, and then there's a 3rd disc containing rarities, demo versions, and so on. And all of the records are on clear vinyl. And then with all 4 sets here, there is a poster with the album cover, like that, and on the back side there are lyrics and a lot of text regarding the songs on the 3rd and extra disc So a lot of comments, a lot of words, a lot of explanation on the demos and rarities that's on there, why they chose that song, and so on. So it's very, very elaborate and very detailed and really, really cool. There's a download card, and in every one, there is a like a scratch thingy, and so basically it says match 5 cliffs and win a prize. Now a cliff is this character here, which is an ongoing character in the Stereolab artwork, and for all these 4, like I said, and the 3 or 4 ones that I also got, there's one of these inside. I have not scratched any of them, so I actually don't know whether I've won. If you do win, you get like an exclusive from Duophonic, their own record label. I kind of want to keep them as they are. I don't want to mess them up and scratch them, so I won't get the prize, but I'll have a complete and unscratched scratch thingy. So that's the 4 Stereolabs done. But yeah, check out Stereolab if you were up for, say, these records are 90s, or were released in the 90s, alternative music, punkish, electronic, krautrocky, with some French vibes and some worldly vibes, and really, really cool band. They've already released 2 more albums, which I haven't got yet. I will be getting them early January to complete the set, and because I don't want to miss out on the limited versions. So yeah, I really, really love that band. Another record I picked up at a sale is this 2017, I believe, album, 2018. Jonathan Wilson album called Rare Birds. Really, really cool artwork with gold foil and embossing and what have you. Double record. There was a lot of buzz regarding this album when it came out last year. It was then regarding the artwork and regarding, well, basically Jonathan Wilson taking it to the next level. Some say, some feel. This is just a standard black one. There were a lot of color variants when it came out. I didn't jump on it when it came out. I bought it now, so obviously all of the color versions are gone. And there's also a poster in here, by the way. Poster with the album artwork and stickers. A lot of stickers. I just put the hype sticker on the back of the cover because I wanted to get rid of the cellophane to fully enjoy this artwork here. There's a booklet inside with lyrics and drawings and whatnot, so it's a very, very elaborate artwork. Really cool album. Alternative pop rock. I think I don't know much about Jonathan Wilson, to be honest, but I guess he goes a bit more mainstream, dare I say poppy on this album. There are songs that remind me of the War on Drugs, for example, so if you like War on Drugs, check out this album. But it's a really, really fun listen, it's a really cool listen. Another reissue I got, I'm trying to go through these fast. This is the 2017 reissue of the Nine Inch Nails Broken EP. Has 6 songs. This was one of the first, I think this was my introduction to Nine Inch Nails back in 92, I think this was released, 91, 92. That was the song Wish, which is the second song on here. Happiness and Slavery also. Oh man, I love Nine Inch Nails. I got to see them last year at the Roskilde Festival in Denmark. That was one of my favorite concerts ever. So inside obviously is the EP. I think it's a single-sided record if I remember correctly. It is, yes. So the 6 songs are on one side, and then the other side is just sort of etched with like a text thingy that I haven't actually had the time to read. And then inside the cover here is a booklet with some information on the recording of this EP and where Trent was mentally and so on. There's also a 7-inch single featuring 2 songs, which is really cool. And a download card as well. Wow. So I think that they actually reissued more of the old Nine Inch Nails stuff. This is the only one that I picked up, and I got this because it was on sale. To be honest with you, I have it all on CD from back in the day, and it's not one of those artists where I desperately need to have it on vinyl also. So, but I'm happy that I got this one. A new album now, and one of the best albums of the year for me, is Elbow and Giants of All Sizes, British band Elbow, with their 7th or 8th album or so. This is another amazing album from Elbow. Check out this cover here. This is from a wave pool. Sorry, there's something in my eye. A wave pool, public wave pool in China. There's a video on YouTube where this still is taken from, and basically there are millions of people in this wave pool, and they're all, you know, like glued to each other because there are so many people inside the pool. And then the wave comes, and you don't see any water. You just see this big river of people just doing a wave, like going up and then going down again. It's ridiculous. I mean, for a guy in Denmark, a country of 5.5 million people, there's like 5 million people in this pool. But I guess that they're used to it in China because there are so many people there. I don't know. I would be out of my comfort zone being in this pool. Besides the fact that I don't swim, this would be too crowded for me. But getting back to the music, Elbow did another amazing album. I just saw them live in November. It was a brilliant concert. Yeah, if you don't know Elbow, please check them out. This is another amazing album from them. 2 Danish albums from a guy called Uffe Lorentzen, who is one of the biggest and most important people when it comes to Danish psych rock music. He was in a band called Spids Neunhat, who actually just today got a newspaper writer named their latest album, which is quite possibly their last album ever, the best album of the decade, best Danish album of the decade. So the lead singer Uffe is this guy. This is a 2017 album. My phone just died because there is not enough space on my phone to keep recording these long videos. So I'll try and be even more brief. Uffe Lorentzen, one of the main characters, most important people in Danish psych rock. I went to see him live, solo concert. Picked up the 2 solo albums he's done. This is 2017. This is 2019. It's just like really great songwriting. He has great vocals, and there's this psych rock influence. There's a lot of flute on this album. Man, he is just brilliant. And you can just tell from the covers that this is a tribute. Won't be spending much time on this one other than say that I absolutely adore this album, and I adore this singer here, Billie Eilish. When we all fall asleep, where do we go? Her album from this year. I adore Billie Eilish. I'm a big fan. This is one of the best albums of the year for me. I know this is pop music. I know this is sort of has a rap influence. I know, but she is just so talented, and I absolutely adore her. Billie Eilish. Tom York, his latest album, Anima, I got. This is another brilliant album. I adore Radiohead. I adore Tom York. I love everything they do, and that he does solo. Yeah, just incredible. Another incredible album from him. And finally, maybe I shouldn't have stopped with this one, but this is Danish soul singer Hans Philip and his album For Evigt, which means forever. Great neo soul album, and one of the best Danish albums of the year, to be honest with you. Those were the records. that I wanted to show you. We're going really fast here. Maybe I haven't given you enough information about the albums. If you have any questions about the albums I've shown, feel free to drop a comment down below. I still have a small stack of albums that I need to show you with some music from different parts of the world. Hopefully I'll be able to shoot that video tomorrow. We're getting ready for New Year's. We're having some people over. I always feel like this when it comes, after these Christmas days. I just want to get New Year's done. It doesn't really mean that much to me, New Year's Eve. It's not something that I really care much about. I just want to get it over with, get it done, and start January and start a new year. Also personally, this year has been extremely tough for me mentally. My mental health has been challenged a lot. I won't go too much into details, but I've had panic attacks, anxiety attacks, depression, stress at work. A lot of shit been going on. I know that I'm still alive, and there are people out there who are much worse, far worse off than I am. But yeah, I've had some difficulties this year, and I just want to get started on a new year, get in shape, hopefully lose. I need to lose like 60, 70, 80 pounds maybe. So yeah, enough about that. I'll hopefully shoot another video tomorrow, and until then, take care. Bye bye.